Around the year 800, a man used Dr. Z's method of rising to power, and he had built himself a castle. The way the men rose to power was so intellectual. It was dancing in the dance it was. The men had risen to be the greatest things on earth. It was the legend of the English that would come and be so great. Even Roman emperors, many of them, were so great. Scott's international efforts, so magic, so splice. These men had taken this method to power, and they had become rich thrice. He could probably have it, a little something, probably get his own thing up, be the winner in the whole situation, and just rule for all the luck. It's science, it's crazy, a little bit of Jason Hazy. We was the rich ones and the riches in the city, with the diamonds glistening. It was so amazing. We had some sort of a good time. We had our net worth and our diamonds, 'cause the Lord said that we shine. We were a little higher up. The amount of diamonds had to be king. It was to have the diamonds of a king that was attainable to us. We had gotten to the top. The very top, my Mikey. We brought the whole dance here. Sit down, you. This is lucky. With shame and astounding, Scott was the richest. He had to produce this. The method was said to be actually quite scary. He might meet other kingdoms in other lands who might shriek upon his power. There were hundreds of ways it was scary how he had risen with the power of a Mephistopheles. He was up in the castle. It was his way. He had risen to the brightest day. He was the castle of Mephistopheles. It was who he had to dedicate it to. If he could come out of this environment, he would likely win it for the crew. Amassing militaries was something some men thought they should do up here. Wave a whole military at the falls. Show one's strength and show one's might, as one was the largest and could gather the most might. Being the top musician, it had controlled the world. But what if he could control the world? researching, he was the man who had won the 12 and would absolutely win the world. A hard generation. It was it. It was Scott Robinson. Won it. Winning. Not shaming. One of the best rappers. He had been the best. He had won the course for them. As he could stop all the bullying with his energies, the people found so awesome. He had a system for the people. May they live in glory. The real way that they won in those days. After I sung the chorus,
After review, the call on the ice is a whole new season of NHL action with Skip. Every order earns you a shot at winning one of over 200,000 prizes, including NHLShop.ca and Skip gift cards, Skip Game Time Tarps, and the grand prize, a trip for two to the 2024 Rogers NHL All-Star Game in Toronto. Order, shoot, win with Skip. No purchase necessary. Ends November 30th. For rules, visit winwithskip.com.
should have skipped that. The story of Scott Robinson. A man to build you a castle of bigger than medieval proportions. We all needed castles in these lands. Why don't we have castles? Let's make castles for everyone and rejoice in the town centers. Dancing, parties, castles was something Dr. Z was going to bring us. The man to invent a castle, though he was quite something, for his design would be brought to us. Islands castle replicas. 10,000. Leading force in the Americas that I frowned upon. The war had to be fought. Scott Dr. Z, the rap juggernaut. He could rule this himself with his power. His road to power was insane. Big schizophrenic, but he was caught in a castle at the moment. They said he had been schizophrenic, but he thought he had never been schizophrenic the whole time. It was all in his mind, which he controlled. Mind control went down. That was the drugs around these castles. The mind control in the city that terrified the people. And they had to do something. In Scott's time, he rose to have a connect with power, and the power is what he chose. He came so grinning, so winning, so smooth. Scott Robinson knew. Never again, sir, shall you come in here. I cast the sword upon you to go over crazy and queer, as we all become the scariest things in the world. while we absolutely took out our shore. This was a castle. At the top of the castle, soldiers were being trained in the house. The soldiers were being trained for forever. The soldiers were being trained to defend mankind and be the soldiers in the house. After we trained the soldiers, they had to go on a mission to establish mankind and control that in our bodies we all hold Jesus in the neural center known as the heart, at which point he would come back. It was the tale of these medieval castles. The men who rose said, yes, there was definitely something. He'd make sure there's the right book around. That's the medieval tale I sing today. The purple ball would make sure it was the right book around. Jesus' message was simple and we all knew it mattered. But all these were real niggers, he frowned. The purple ball said Jesus was a real nigger, and it would have the right book out. I celebrated that I was a